The Oxford Tap is still open for business despite some extra restrictions.
We shut down for 6 weeks and then reopened and have been doing carry out. We bring the food out to the cars and don't allow any customers in the building for now. We are operating with a limited staff. Servers are basically taking phone calls, packing up the food and running the food out to the curb. And we're limited hours, 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 7 days a week is what we've been operating with right now. That's what makes the most sense for us.
Phipps says he was open for 15 hours a day before the pandemic hit. Now he's open for 5.
If you don't know, there's a national meat crisis going on as well because of the pandemic. As we survive off of selling chicken and hamburgers, the prices tripled on them. So we don't want to put that back into the consumers, make that a consumer's problem. So we're eating the difference now, and for lack of a better word, it sucks.
Despite the current circumstance, the Tap is doing its part to serve the community.
We are at times overwhelmed with the amount of carryout that we're doing. It's a little crazy because everybody wants to eat at the same time, but it is what it is. So we do the best we can with it, and we're not able to get every phone call. Again, we're operating with a limited staff, so we can only cook so much food and only take so many phone calls in a certain period of time. It's a funny thing because in the beginning you couldn't find styrofoam containers, so then we bought all of them. And, now we're tripping over styrofoam containers, but it's just a transition as a typical restaurant window to where you put the food up is that big. And, now when you got 4 boxes of hamburgers, they don't fit through the window. So, like I said, to try to do it quickly and efficiently to give a good product to our customers, it's a lot to make it make sense, to keep it warm. Like I said, a carry-out place is designed to be a carry-out place. Traditionally, you'd come into a restaurant and they'd hand you a menu. We're not doing that anymore. We now have a QR code that'll be on all tables, like a table tent, and you'll just be able to hold your camera over that table tent, and our menu will pop up so you can read it. Okay, I'll give you a typical on a Friday night, pre-pandemic, we would have 24 people working in the building. Now, on a Friday night, we have 9 people working in a building. That would be four guys cooking, 4 guys and girls cooking, and another 5 answering phones, processing payments, and running the food out.
Although they aren't offering any specials yet, they're still serving their full menu.
Our food sales are very similar to what our daily food sales were pre-pandemic, which is phenomenal, quite honestly. I mean, I'd love to brag about it other than the price of chicken is just outrageous. And the price of burgers is outrageous, but it's good, it really is. Minus the beverage sales, we were designed to sell a beer with your burger. That was the whole idea. Without the alcohol sales and even just a Coke, it makes things a lot different. It's just food. Even our kitchen was designed to serve food on plates, not in boxes. So it's the areas to work in when you're using a styrofoam box that's this big as opposed to a plate that's this big. It's just not what we were designed to do. I think it's important to the local economy. I really do. I think it's a big deal that some money's being passed around for sure. I sure hope it gets better soon. This is our carry-out station. This lines up with food every day. The hand sanitizer everywhere. We put these in to keep our employees, at a safe distance from each other, offer them some.
With sanitizing stations placed around the restaurant, the Tap is prepared to have good, clean fun.
We just held an all-staff meeting with all of our employees, explaining to them all the new procedures, wearing masks, wearing gloves, how to properly sanitize a table. We've put X's on the tables. Those ones won't be sat. That way we can maintain our customers at a 6-foot distance. you know, if you're a couple, you can sit together. Otherwise, you got to keep your space. We have dividers made. We have a divider at our hostess stand designed to keep the host safe and the guests safe. We adopted an app for seating because we often go on a wait for people to dine. This, you'll be able to come in, we'll take your phone number, you go back out to your car and wait, and we'll text you when your table's ready, which will avoid people gathering in groups. As we have a waiting area, we can't use it anymore. Again, hopefully we can change that. Our other dining room, same thing. We've spaced it out where we're not going to seat every table. We will be 100% compliant. We have hand sanitizer stations set up throughout the building that is for the guests and for our employees. We put toe poles on all the doors so you can open the door with your foot as opposed to using your hands. Trying to get employees to come back to work while the state's handing out all this extra pay for unemployment is near impossible. You know, they don't want to come back to work, and I would imagine every restaurant owner would say the same thing. You know, I just hope for better days. I really do. Realistically, once we got past, if we did get past the pandemic, we have talked about delivery, doing whatever it takes. None of that makes any sense for us right now because things change daily, but we have adopted an online ordering system which is ready to go. Honestly, that would put somebody out of work right now, so we really don't want to use that. I mean, it would take a job away from somebody, so it's not the way to go at the moment. I know I can handle traffic being slowed down, but when people aren't allowed to come here and have a beer, that's a tough one to handle. It really is. I mean, it's, you know, people like to gather. They like to enjoy their friends and you know, have people take care of them. You know, and that's what we've made a living doing, is, you know, offering a lot of hospitality and showing people a good time and a good meal. You know, it's just kind of been taken from us. So
Phipps says he's incorporated tons of extra precautions like extra sanitizing stations and more. Reporting in Oxford, Alexis Ware, Oxford Community Television.